suppose I'm not quite sure what message I intend to convey, but I felt like today was quite a day, and worth giving a shot at conveying. So we'll see. As the blind man said, we shall see. We shall see if I am able to convey the message I hope to. So, it was a good day. It was a great day, I would say. And let me walk you through it. So, today I competed in just a local grappling tournament, and I feel pretty good about my performance. I competed against two guys. One being three guys. I beat two guys. One was a young 18-year-old scrappler who was tough, but I was able to armbar him pretty quickly. I took him down. Went for his leg. He went for mine, and I was able to armbar him off of it, which I feel pretty good about. And then the second guy, a bit bigger than me, I had some good exchanges with him, and I was able to armbar him as well. And then last I went against a collegiate wrestler who was pretty tough. Went the full 8 minutes, scrapping with each other, wrestling, and he got the better of it. He had a size advantage, but I'm sure I could have performed better. But I tried. But it was a good performance. I feel pretty good about how I did. If I really think about it, he does have an experience advantage on me, Although his grappling record on smooth comp only shows that was his first competition. He's been wrestling his entire life, and I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 5 years, so I would say that's an experience advantage, especially considering that our match was mostly wrestling. And I think I gave him a hard time, at least a difficult time. So, I feel pretty good about that. But there's a few other things that I feel pretty good about, and that are a little bit more important. Which to start with? Well, we'll start with number one. I gave a good shot at burying the hatchet with some people that I had a sort of falling out with, and it felt quite nice. It did feel quite nice. Somewhat recently, I don't know, for some reason it just happened. I felt like I was ready to let go of whatever disagreement I was holding on to, or whatever bitterness or resentment I was holding on to. And I kind of felt like I let go on my own. And then when I ran into these few people today, I gave it a shot. I felt like the right time, and I gave it a shot. And so I feel like I had some success. One of them could have gone better, but the other one I felt quite well about. I felt like we were both understanding of each other. I felt like we were respectful, and I'm happy I did what I did. I did my best to take accountability for my part of the situation, and I also did my best to objectively explain my perspective of what things upset me in the situation. And I was very cautious about being insulting. The person that I did not have a great outcome with, I could have done a better job of being respectful with. But the second person, I learned from the first person. And the second person, I was far more respectful, and I did a good job of not being insulting in explaining my perspective and my issue with the situation that occurred. And I felt like we came to a reasonable understanding, and we left we left better off, I feel like, and I feel pretty good about that. And yeah, that was quite nice. For the longest time, I felt like these are two people that I met through grappling, and for the longest time, maybe not for the longest time, but recently I felt quite strongly that the biggest thing I can get from grappling or competing, and I suppose for anyone just pursuing anything to a more advanced level, is just how I grow as a person, But I suppose today, after, spending time with seeing all the people that I know in this community of grappling, and making memories with people I know, having laughs, talking, creating new friendships with people I competed against, and people that I didn't compete against, but I just met. It all just showed me that I guess I was mistaken. I don't think the most important thing is how you grow as a person. And I do think that's a valuable thing, but I think maybe it's the second most important thing. But I think the most important thing might be, the people that I meet along the way. Because I've met some really cool people. And, a perfect example of that is one of my matches. I set up a camera with the tripod I'm recording this on right now. And, oh yeah, that's the tournament I did. It was a Fuji. Free rash guard, huh? But yeah, one of the people that I knew, that I hadn't seen in a while, they were happy to see me, and I was happy to see them. And for one of the matches, I set up this tripod, and the end of the match, the highlight of the match, was out of frame, and it would be quite heartbreaking, as when you compete, having a video of your match is one of the highlights of the experience. Being able to go back and just to see yourself and how you performed under pressure, and my tripod didn't catch it. I was out of frame, which would have been disappointing. It would have been disappointing to miss. It would have been okay, it's not the end of the world, but I was quite fortunate, and it showed me something that the people that I meet are what matter, because somebody I had known, although I hadn't seen him in probably over a year, maybe over 2, he was standing there cheering me on and recording my match, 2 people actually. So I have multiple videos from 2 people, and they're people I knew previously and I hadn't seen in a while, and they were there supporting me and cheering on my match, and it's kind of, it's nice. They're kind of my saviors in that situation, They came in out of nowhere, and they really hooked me up, because I wouldn't be able to see that if it wasn't for them. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter, it's just a grappling tournament, but it's kind of beautiful. These 2 people that I knew, and I hadn't seen them in quite a while, Well, I hadn't seen them in a while. They were more than happy to come support me and record my match and help me. Not only that, but they shared the video. They took a video and they shared it with me, And so a video that I would have never seen or had, I was able to see because of the relationships I built through this activity, That was quite meaningful to me. And so, and also, afterwards, after this competition, I went out and I got food with some friends, and it all just helped to show me that I think the most important thing that I can get from grappling is the people I meet and the relationships I build, And so I will make an effort moving forward not to build bridges and not burn them, and to hopefully repair any bridges that have been damaged, because I have my faults, as we all do, and I would like to build something in my life, whatever that may be. So that was something I learned today. that the most important thing in any activity we do is not so much how we can grow as a person, but the people we meet. Now the second thing that was fairly meaningful to me. Meaningful? I don't know. That seemed to click for me today was that. Well, let me give you a backstory. There was a beautiful young lady at this competition who certainly attracted my attention and many of my friends' attention, as we all expressed differently. Hopefully, more respectfully moving forward. I think I was pretty respectful, but hopefully I can influence others. Anyways, I saw this beautiful young lady at this competition who had a very unique name and a stunning accent. And I'd seen her once before, and that time I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get to interact with her. So this time I gave it a shot. Someone who used to be a very timid person who would never in a million years go attempt to talk to a beautiful female who just really is really intimidating. It's really someone so attractive is difficult to approach. Because you wish not to make a fool of yourself, and you wish to attract their attention. But I think often that wish to gain their attention and to not attract negative attention leads us to inaction. But not today for me, and I feel quite good about that. And I took a good shot. Unfortunately, the basket was closed, so to say. She was not single. But it was a good shot. And she even asked my name. And that may seem small and insignificant to most, who knows, but to me it meant something. And it felt like a small win. And perhaps someday I attempted to plant a seed that maybe someday, if things don't work out with her partner, which I should not and do not intend to prey on their relationship, them having relationship issues, but she was a very attractive lady, and I hope to find myself a life partner similar to her. But I attempted to plant a seed so that if things don't work out with her current partner, perhaps that won't be my last interaction with her. But anyways, after that, I got home from this tournament, and I shared my day with my parents. I even told my mom that I shot my shot at a very pretty lady, and she didn't fully understand what I was saying when I said I shot my shot. Thought I was saying something more inappropriate. But yeah, then I told my dad about my performance at the competition, and later in the evening we watched a movie, Me, Myself, and Irene, which was quite a nice movie. I would highly recommend it. And I suppose it's a movie about a man and his inner struggle about his own timidity, his own ability to stand up for himself and face conflict. And for the longest time he runs away from it, and then it just builds into a bigger issue, and it builds into a split personality that forms in him. But at the end of the movie, he overcomes this fear, and he faces the conflict, and he resolves that split personality, and he finds love. Hopefully I can find love just as Mr. Charlie did. So anyways, to wrap up this day, I ended up on my phone after watching this movie late at night. I journaled. I ended up going on my phone and I messaged two other ladies that I find very attractive that I've followed on Instagram, on social media, on Instagram for a while, and who have followed me as well. And for the longest time, I found them both quite attractive, but I never shot my shot. I was too timid, and I was too afraid, I suppose, to face that interaction. But today I did, and they may not respond. They may respond, and I may fumble it afterwards, but I'm happy to say I gave it a shot, because I never would have known. But today, I'm 3 for 0 with that. I'm 3 for 0. And the thing I really realized is that I think in talking to females, what it takes is talking from your heart and talking from your emotion, you know, talking from that part of you and being honest and being indifferent to the result, which is quite difficult, not to get attached to the result or to not be fearful of the result. But I think that's what I did successfully 3 times today with all three ladies. I expressed my part with sincerity as best as I could. Vulnerability. I put myself out there. I was vulnerable. I put myself in a vulnerable position to act like a fool and say, hey, I think you are a beautiful person, and I hope I can get to know you better, you know. Those weren't my words specifically, but that's roughly the message I was attempting to convey. And they may not get that, or perhaps they may get a hint of it, and I fear I may lose track of that intention tomorrow or next day. But today was a good step in the right direction, and I hope, you know, as they say in the Beatles song "Hey Jude," so let it out or let it in. Hey Jude. So let it out or let it in. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. Let me see very quickly, before this video gets too long. So let it out or let it in. Hey Jude. Oh, I can't be playing that. I'm gonna get in trouble. Let's see the lyrics. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her in under your skin, then you begin to make it better. And anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulder. For well, you know that it's a fool who plays it cool by making this world cool. I'm losing track of the melody, I'm sorry. Na 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 na. Hey Jude, don't let me down. You have found her, now go and get her. Remember to